What's up, everyone? Let's talk about the negativity surrounding the Xbox right now. I wanted to discuss with you the good, the bad, and everything in between. Let me start out by introducing myself. My name is Rafael. Everyone calls me Hafa for short, aka R to the B, hence the name of my channel. And today, I just wanted to discuss with you and quite honestly get some of your opinions over a couple of things that have been really frustrating me this generation when it comes to comparing the Xbox to the other systems. Full transparency from the get-go. I've always been an Xbox advocate. It's been my console of choice since the OG Xbox. Yes, the old Xbox. I've owned all three generations. Like I've mentioned before, the OG Xbox, which came with that beautiful, magnificent controller, the Duke. I've owned an Xbox 360, which I still have, by the way, Halo Reach Edition. Love my Halo. And now, obviously, the Xbox One. I truly love the Xbox brand. I really do. With all of that said, I will do my very best to be as unbiased as I can towards all the other systems. Let's get on with the discussion then. Why all the hate for the Xbox? I just don't understand why Xbox gets so much heat when it seems that their competitors, Sony and Nintendo, get away with tons of shit. It doesn't matter how much Xbox continually improves or how well we're doing or the Xbox brand is doing. I feel like it's consistently in quicksand with most of the gaming news outlets out there. And I can't understand why. The launch of the Xbox was not perfect. It was not perfect to say the least. But the Xbox One has changed drastically since its launch. Let's start with what's getting the most action right now in the gaming news world, and that's the Xbox One X. Honestly, it feels amazing to be an Xbox fan right now. It really does. It's been 4 long years, ladies and gentlemen, that we've had the less powerful console. All the trash talking, all the bad press that the Xbox One got, it should now finally be coming to an end. And it should be our time to celebrate. Am I right? Eh, so we thought. You see, the narrative in the beginning of this generation was solely about the power of the consoles. PS4 was consistently putting out 1080p games versus the Xbox One, which was putting out 720, 900p, and at best, at times, we were lucky to get 1080p. I told you guys in the beginning, I'm gonna try to be as unbiased as I can be, and I'll give Sony and the PS4 a lot of credit. They had a superior product, no doubt about it. That was the fact. Myself, alongside all the Xbox fans out there, we just had to accept it. Even though we didn't like it, we had to be real about it. PS4 deserved all the credit that they got. So now, here comes the X, right? The Xbox One X, with all the bells and whistles any of us could ever hoped for. You have videos showcasing the power of the X, graphic comparisons to other consoles, how the X is hitting 4K. Let me emphasize that true native 4K, even 6K on some other games. And what credits does Microsoft and Xbox get? None. Almost zero. All of a sudden, once Xbox has the most powerful console, and even before acknowledging and discussing the prominence of the Xbox One X, the first things you hear is, who is the Xbox One X for? Why do you need the X? Where are the games? You only need an X if you have a 4K TV. Where are the first party games? I mean, give me a freaking break. When did Xbox become the villain of this generation? I mean, talk about being unfair or biased or whatever you may want to call it. All of this generation has been a battle of the power of these two consoles. And now, here you have the most powerful console and you don't want to compliment it? I mean, come on. Something's not right here. Am I the only one who thinks so? Am I the only one seeing this? I hope not. I really hope not. The Xbox One X, in my opinion, is quite honestly exactly what we as Xbox fans needed. A console that's powerful enough that now we can't hear any more excuses from anyone, whether that be gamers themselves or the developers or the game media. The X should be able to play the best versions of a game, period. And I'll tell you what, Xbox from here on out will consistently have the most powerful console of the future generations. I have no doubt about that. Not only will Xbox now have the most powerful consoles for future generations, Sony's next console, let's call it the PS5, will be only up to par to what the Xbox One X is now. If you look at the specs of the X, it's unbelievable. It really is for what you get inside that box. And if you look at the PS4 Pro, the specs on there are also notable, but the X is just a far superior product than the Pro. If you're thinking to yourself right now, well, where are the games? Well, let's talk about that. With the Xbox One X coming out, we will have the most powerful console. I can't express that enough. So what does that mean? Well, aside from Sony's first-party developers or first-party games and their exclusive titles from third parties, all the games that are coming to both consoles should be superior on the Xbox One X. And when I say exclusive titles from third parties, take that with a grain of salt because a lot of Sony's PS4 titles that they call exclusive also come out on PC. So if you're a PC gamer, which I also happen to be, you're able to get those games as well. All third party games should look better and it should run smoother on the Xbox One X. And if that doesn't happen, something's going on. And from third-party games, I'm talking about some of the biggest franchises out there. We're talking Call of Duty, Battlefront 2 coming out, Destiny comes out this year, FIFA 18, Madden, you got NBA Live, you got NBA 2K, so you got tons of games. I mean, the list goes on and on. First party is a totally different ball game. This is where Sony, in my opinion, has an upper hand on the Xbox. If you look at Sony's first party exclusives, they are incredible. I can't deny that whatsoever. The games aesthetically look gorgeous, they're beautiful games, they play well, the story of the games are incredible. I enjoy just watching Sony's first party titles. I unfortunately don't have a PS4, but it doesn't mean I don't acknowledge a good game when it's out there. Most, if not all, of Sony's first party titles are really exceptional. They really are. One small critique I have, however, is it seems that they're a victim of their own success, right? They're taking the same formula that they used, I believe, on Uncharted and The Last of Us, and they're applying that formula to all of their games, which may give some gamers a little bit of fatigue. But other than that, like I said, their first party titles are really, really exceptional. This is where Xbox is lacking, their first party titles. Sony, as I mentioned before, seems to have evolved with their audience. Their games have become better and better. While Xbox seems to me they've kept the same formula for their games. Don't get me wrong, I love my Halo and my Gears just as much as the next gamer, but they've just become a bit stale and most likely need something to change. Whether you admit it or not, most people care about graphics. That's the first thing they see when the game is presented to them. The aesthetics of the game means a lot. And Xbox first party titles needs to start blowing people away, especially with the Xbox One X. To our luck, we've already seen tons of videos out there with graphic comparisons, as I mentioned before, and how well some of those games are starting to look on the Xbox One X. That's on third party games, so I expect even more from first party titles. Even though this year has been probably one of the worst years for Xbox first party titles, we're still getting all the third party titles that everyone else is getting. And we're also getting PUBG, which has taken the world by storm. We have great games coming out the next year as well, like Sea of Thieves, we got State of Decay, we have Crackdown, Forza Horizon 4 most likely, and even maybe Halo 6. Plus any surprises that Microsoft may have up their sleeve. I just know that from here on out, all the games, first, second, or third party titles will play and should play and be their best on the Xbox One X. Well, those are my thoughts, everyone. If you sat through this whole thing with me and you heard me ranting all about what's going on, I want to thank you so very much. It means a lot to me. As an Xbox fan, I just had to let this out. I felt like it was my duty to express my opinion on the situation with what I see happening. So hopefully there are a few of you out there who may have a similar opinion and I'm not crazy over here. But, there's always two sides of a coin. So if you agree or don't agree, go ahead and sound off on the comments and let's talk about it. If you enjoyed this video, please go ahead and hit that like button. It would mean the world to me. If you haven't already, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Subscribe to the channel. That way you can stay up to date whenever new content is up. If you'd like to follow me on any social network, I'll leave the links down on the description. Again, I want to thank everyone who came by and heard what I had to say. It does really mean a lot to me. Stay safe out there, everyone. Remember to keep on gaming, and I'll catch you guys online. Later.